Here's your wrestling news for September 26, 2025. Here's your headlines for today. AJ Styles confirms WWE retirement is coming. Brock Lesnar set for 2 massive WWE shows in 2026. Matt Cardona's NXT return comes with big twist, shocking details leaked. Jazmyn Nix exposes shockingly low NXT salary after turning down WWE contract. Reason Adam Copeland was written off AEW TV revealed. Tony Khan may have subtly confirmed that a major name is done with AEW. Kim Orton calls out WWE for disrespecting Randy Orton after leaving him off major shows. Internal WWE reaction to ESPN's C rating for WrestlePalooza revealed, and more. After months of speculation surrounding his WWE contract status, AJ Styles has finally broken his silence, and it's official, retirement is on the horizon. Earlier this summer, Fightful reported that Styles quietly signed a 1-year extension with WWE. Now, speaking directly to Tokyo Sports while promoting WWE's upcoming Japan tour, the 48-year-old veteran confirmed that his in-ring career is nearing its end. Styles didn't sugarcoat his plans, admitting that next month's events in Japan could very well be his last appearances there. Speaking on his in-ring career leading into WrestleMania 42, he explained, "I'll probably appear at WrestleMania, April next year in Las Vegas, USA, but it's not confirmed yet. The details are still undecided, but I'll definitely retire within the next year." For Styles, this isn't about clinging to the spotlight, it's about leaving on his own terms before time catches up. "I don't want to show my fans a side of me that isn't AJ Styles. I've decided to retire before my body can no longer move." The Phenomenal One also hinted at life after active competition. While nothing is finalized, it sounds likely he'll remain with WWE in some capacity, potentially mentoring the next generation. "I haven't decided yet, but I think I'll probably work for WWE. It might be good to train young wrestlers to be worthy of being on the main roster, but I don't know yet." Styles' career is nothing short of legendary. From his breakout years in TNA, ROH, and New Japan to finally arriving in WWE in 2016, he has built a 2-decade-long legacy that few can match. Now he's making it clear this is the final chapter. If WrestleMania 42 serves as his farewell, the stage couldn't be grander. But before that day comes, Styles has one more clash with a familiar rival. At WWE Crown Jewel in Australia, he's set to face John Cena one last time. Cena's farewell tour continues after that event, with only 2 Raw appearances in November, Survivor Series on November 29th, and his officially scheduled final match at Saturday night's main event on December 13. 2 icons, both nearing the end of their journeys, colliding one last time. This is as historic as it gets. Who do you think should come out on top in their final showdown? AJ Styles or John Cena, and why? Brock Lesnar is officially back in the WWE mix, and the roadmap for his future is already becoming clear. After making headlines with his dominant run at WrestlePalooza where he destroyed John Cena, new reports confirm that WWE has locked him in for 2 of its biggest shows in early 2026. On the latest episode of WrestleVotes Radio on WrestleBinge, Joey Votes and TC revealed that Lesnar is internally listed for the 2026 Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia and WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. This aligns with a report from Bodyslam.net yesterday, which indicated that Braun Breaker is being lined up as Lesnar's opponent on the grand stage. The idea of Breaker colliding with the Beast incarnate has floated around as a dream scenario, and WrestleMania 42 may finally deliver on that vision. WWE Creative is currently crafting this plan, with a simple setup at the Royal Rumble serving as the launch point. If Breaker eliminates Lesnar, the groundwork would be laid for a passing of the torch showdown in Las Vegas. With their blend of size, speed, and raw intensity, Lesnar vs. Breaker carries all the makings of a blockbuster spectacle. Of course, as with all long-term booking, these plans remain subject to change if WWE decides on a different direction. The timing also lines up with WWE's marketing push. Lesnar's face is already front and center on the official WrestleMania 42 poster, a strong signal of his role in the event's promotion. While ESPN previously distanced themselves from him due to the Janelle Grant lawsuit, WWE has shown no hesitation in spotlighting Lesnar, instead positioning him as a central figure in their biggest shows of the year. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Matt Cardona is officially back on WWE television. The former Zack Ryder shocked fans with a surprise appearance during the closing moments of this week's NXT, inserting himself into the ongoing TNA Invasion storyline. It marked his first time in a WWE ring in more than 5 years, and while the visual alone was enough to stun the audience, the bigger story is what's happening behind the curtain. Despite being presented on screen as part of TNA's invading forces, Fightful Select has confirmed that Cardona isn't actually signed to the company. He's been working without a contract since resurfacing in TNA earlier this year, and that hasn't changed, even now that he's showing up on WWE programming. Cardona originally departed TNA when the promotion moved away from using unsigned talent, but that stance has softened in recent months. The shift has allowed him to remain a free agent, positioning him as a rare name able to float between companies. His involvement in the Invasion storyline only heightens the sense of unpredictability, making him the true wildcard in this entire angle. All of this comes as the Invasion builds toward TNA's Bound for Glory pay-per-view on October 12th. With no contract tying him down, Cardona's future is wide open. He's spoken before about being open to a WWE return, and now he's back on their programming without ever having signed anything. For fans, the return raises major questions. Will WWE book Cardona as a central figure in the Invasion, or is this simply a stepping stone toward his eventual move back to Raw or SmackDown? And perhaps most intriguingly, could he pull a move similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin during the original Invasion angle? Back then, Austin shocked the world by switching sides. Now the question lingers, will Matt Cardona ultimately turn on TNA and lead the charge for WWE NXT in this ongoing battle? What's your take? Should Cardona remain loyal to TNA's cause, or would a shocking betrayal cement him as the difference maker for WWE? Jazmyn Nix is officially on her way out of WWE, and new details are now emerging about just how little she was being paid during her time in NXT. The former NXT standout responded to a fan on Instagram who noted that WWE developmental talent supposedly make between $80,000 and $150,000 a year. The fan questioned how that wouldn't be enough to stay financially secure, prompting Nix to set the record straight. "If I was making that, it would have been great," she said. According to Fightful, WWE offered Nix a new deal worth $75,000 per year, the same amount she had already been earning. Sources within NXT confirmed that WWE wanted to keep her, but they were unwilling to increase her salary. The flat offer was reportedly structured as a multi-year extension, though it remains unclear if any built-in raises were included over time. While $75,000 might sound decent on paper, insiders point out that after taxes and out-of-pocket expenses like gear, travel, and training, Nix likely took home significantly less. One source suggested her actual earnings may have been around $60,000 or even lower. WWE has not commented on her departure, but it appears Nix's refusal to re-sign is at least partly due to the financial terms on the table rather than personal drama. Additionally, fans wondering if she'll follow the trend of launching subscription content after leaving WWE can rest easy. Nix has stated she has no plans to open an OnlyFans account. Nix's exit has sparked a broader conversation about NXT's pay structure and what developmental stars are truly earning behind the scenes. Should WWE reconsider the base pay for NXT talent, or is this simply part of the paying your dues model that many wrestling legends experienced? Share your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Adam Copeland left fans emotional during a pre-taped segment on AEW Dynamite, candidly reflecting on the physical and mental toll wrestling has taken on him and hinting at uncertainty about his future. Many assumed this was the start of a permanent farewell, but the real reason behind his absence from AEW television has now come to light. According to PW Insider, Copeland was written off TV to accommodate his filming schedule for the final season of Percy Jackson on Disney+. Having portrayed Ares for the past 2 seasons, he is returning to reprise the role for the show's conclusion. The segment followed his memorable reunion tag team match with Christian Cage against FTR at AEW All Out, about celebrated by fans as a nostalgic highlight. The subsequent storyline, which included an attack on Beth Phoenix, created the perfect narrative bridge for Copeland's emotional breakdown and temporary exit from AEW television. AEW President Tony Khan may have subtly confirmed that a former world champion is no longer part of All Elite Wrestling, and all signs point to Dr. Britt Baker. The DMD has been a cornerstone of AEW since its inception in 2019, even holding the Women's World Championship once during her tenure, but her absence from television has grown increasingly notable. Baker hasn't appeared on AEW TV since the November 13, 2024 edition of Dynamite, where she faced Penelope Ford. This past Wednesday, Dynamite took place in Pittsburgh, Baker's hometown, and many fans expected the former champion to make a long-awaited return. Instead, the Doctor was nowhere to be seen, marking over 10 months without an on-screen appearance. By not featuring Baker in her hometown episode, Tony Khan may have quietly confirmed that she is done with AEW. Reports of her potential departure have circulated for months, and her absence this week only adds fuel to the speculation. Despite her absence, Baker is still under contract with AEW. Earlier this year, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com reported that Baker signed a 5-year extension in the fall of 2021, keeping her contract valid until at least fall 2026. At the very least, her contract goes until the fall of 2026. If she has injury time, which I'm not sure they'll add, it could end up going quite a bit longer than that, Sapp noted. For now, fans will have to wait and see what the future holds for Britt Baker. Will she return to AEW once her hiatus concludes, or is her absence signaling the end of an era for the DMD? The wrestling world is watching closely. Randy Orton's legacy in WWE is undeniable. Few superstars can match his accolades, longevity, or impact inside the squared circle. Yet in recent years, some fans and even those closest to him feel the company hasn't been treating him like the legend he is. Now his wife Kim Orton has stepped into the conversation, openly calling out what she sees as repeated disrespect. A viral Instagram post recently highlighted just how often WWE has left Orton out of major milestones and events, citing Raw's 25th anniversary, SmackDown's 25th anniversary, the Raw Netflix debut, and even WrestlePalooza, all moments where the Viper was noticeably absent. Kim Orton didn't stay silent. She jumped into the comments with a simple but powerful reply, "You ain't wrong." She isn't alone in that sentiment. WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair also weighed in during a recent interview with Escapist magazine, expressing that WWE isn't maximizing Orton's potential and that the veteran deserves far more respect for his contributions over the years. Flair stated, "Randy's really underutilized these days. I don't know why. I think maybe he made somebody mad along the way. Randy's not afraid to say what he thinks, and that's not always popular." Flair's remarks point directly at WWE leadership under Triple H, who has been guiding creative decisions since taking over from Vince McMahon. While Orton has been involved in recent storylines, he hasn't consistently occupied a top position, something Flair clearly views as a misstep. Known for his unwavering loyalty to Orton, Flair emphasized that the Viper is still performing at a high level and deserves more recognition than WWE has given him lately. While some of Orton's absences can be chalked up to storyline direction or legitimate injuries, his appearances at major events have become increasingly rare. For now, the Viper remains on standby, patiently waiting for WWE to hand him another opportunity to prove why he remains one of the company's all-time greats. With rumors swirling about a potential match against McIntyre at WWE Crown Jewel next week, fans are hoping Orton finally receives the spotlight and treatment that befits his legendary career. The question now remains, is WWE dropping the ball with Randy Orton, or are there factors behind the scenes we haven't been made aware of? Share your thoughts in the comments. The wrestling world wants to know what you think about the Viper's current standing. ESPN's own Andreas Hale giving WrestlePalooza a disappointing C rating has been making waves, and it wasn't just fans who were surprised. WWE itself reportedly didn't expect such a blunt assessment from their broadcast partner. According to WrestleVotes Radio on WrestleBinge, people backstage were caught off guard by the low grade, especially considering this was the debut premium live event on ESPN's platform. Many within the company felt WrestlePalooza was on par with any other major WWE event, making the C rating feel unusually critical. The reaction highlighted a mix of confusion and frustration, as some assumed ESPN might treat the show more favorably due to the partnership. Instead, Hale's review sparked widespread discussion online, with fans and critics debating whether the rating was too harsh or simply a fair, unfiltered critique. In our opinion, it's important to note that a journalistic review should remain independent, even when the outlet has a business relationship with the company. In other words, ESPN's partnership with WWE should not prevent critics from delivering an honest assessment, and the grade can be seen as a reflection of editorial integrity rather than bias. Do you think WWE should be concerned about ESPN grading their debut show so harshly, or was this just fair criticism? Share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.